Ever found yourself curious about the celestial beings known as angels? Today we're delving into an intriguing question that has been a topic of discussion among Bible enthusiasts for centuries. What exactly is a legion, and how many angels does it contain, according to biblical scripture? It's a fascinating concept steeped in mystery and intrigue. Some say a legion contains as many as 72,000 angels. A staggering number, isn't it? So, do you think there are really 72,000 angels in a legion? Let's explore. To unravel this mystery, we must dive into the rich context of the Bible. The Bible, this intricate tapestry of divine inspiration and human storytelling, offers us a wealth of information on the celestial beings we call angels. Their presence, activities, and roles are woven throughout the Old and New Testaments. Yet when it comes to their numbers, the Bible is often less explicit. This ambiguity has led us to the question of whether there are indeed 72,000 angels in a legion. The term legion is not frequently used in the Bible. It's most famously quoted in the New Testament, in the book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 53. Here, as Jesus stands before his arrest, he states, "Do you think I cannot call on my Father, and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels?" This verse, in its dramatic context, provides a sense of the vastness of the heavenly host at God's command. However, it also raises questions. What does Jesus mean by a legion? Is he referring to a specific count of angels? Or is it a more symbolic number, meant to convey the limitless power at his disposal? The answers to these questions lie in understanding the meaning of a legion in the historical and cultural context of the time. In the Roman Empire, which ruled during the time of Christ, a legion was a unit of the Roman army, consisting of roughly 5,000 soldiers. This military term was well known and would have been familiar to the people of that era. So when Jesus speaks of 12 legions of angels, he may be using a term that his listeners would understand to mean a large, formidable force. Yet we must remember that the Bible often uses numbers symbolically. The number 12, for instance, is a significant number in the Bible, representing completeness or divine authority. Could it be that Jesus is using the term legion not to specify a count, but to indicate an overwhelming, divine force? With this biblical context in mind, let's delve deeper into the question at hand. First, we need to understand what exactly is a legion in biblical terms. A legion, as a word, has a rich history and has been used in various contexts. In the Roman Empire, a legion was the basic unit of the Roman army, usually comprising between 4,000 to 6,000 soldiers. However, in the context of the Bible, the term takes on a different shade of meaning. Let's take a look at the book of Mark, chapter 5, verse 9. Here, Jesus encounters a man possessed by an unclean spirit. When Jesus asks the name of the spirit, the answer is legion, for we are many. The term legion here is used to denote a vast number, a multitude. It's not used in a military sense, but rather as a metaphor to represent an overwhelming number of entities. It's interesting to note that in the Greek version of the New Testament, the word used for legion is legion. This word was borrowed from the Latin legio, which means levy of soldiers. However, in the New Testament, legion is used metaphorically to represent a large number or multitude. This understanding of a legion as a multitude or vast number is consistently seen throughout the Bible. It's a term that communicates the idea of an overwhelming force or number, rather than a specific count. In essence, a legion in biblical terms signifies a multitude that is so vast, it's almost beyond human comprehension. So, when we talk about a legion in the Bible, we're not talking about a Roman military unit. We're talking about a concept, an idea of an incredibly large number or multitude. It's a term that was used to convey the overwhelming nature of the forces that Jesus was up against. Now that we understand what a legion is, let's delve into the question of how many angels it might contain. So how many angels can we find in a legion according to the Bible? The Bible doesn't provide a specific number of angels in a legion. However, many interpretations have surfaced over the years, and one of the most popular is the number 72,000. This interpretation is primarily based on historical context rather than biblical text. In the Roman Empire, a legion was a unit of the Roman army. Its size varied over time and place, but during the New Testament period, a legion typically comprised of about 6,000 soldiers. But hold on a minute, where does this figure of 72,000 angels come from then? The answer lies in the Bible itself, specifically in the book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 53. Here, Jesus, while speaking to one of his disciples, says, "Do you think I cannot call on my Father, and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels?" Now, if we take the number 12, representing the 12 legions Jesus referred to, and multiply it by the typical number of soldiers in a Roman legion, which is 6,000, we get 72,000. So there we have it. The number 72,000 comes from this multiplication, leading many to believe that a legion of angels could be as many as 72,000. However, it's essential to note that this is an interpretation, not a hard and fast rule. The number 12 might have been used symbolically in this context, representing the 12 tribes of Israel or the 12 apostles. Or, it might have been a simple hyperbole, used to emphasize the vastness of God's heavenly host. Some scholars even propose that the number of angels in a legion is not to be counted in earthly terms. They suggest that the term legion, when used to describe angels, signifies an innumerable quantity, a multitude beyond human comprehension. This interpretation aligns with other biblical passages that describe the heavenly host as myriads and thousands of thousands. But what about other interpretations? Well, some believe the number of angels in a legion to be even greater than 72,000. They base this on the account of Elisha's servant in the book of Kings, who saw the mountains full of horses and chariots of fire around Elisha. This vision was interpreted as legions of angels, suggesting a number far exceeding 72,000. In conclusion, the number of angels in a legion is not explicitly defined in the Bible. Interpretations range from 72,000, based on a reading of Matthew, to an innumerable multitude based on other biblical passages and interpretations. It's a fascinating topic, isn't it? The mystery of the divine, the exploration of Scripture, and the quest for understanding. It's a journey that takes us into the heart of our faith and challenges us to think, reflect, and grow. As we can see, the number of angels in a legion is a topic of much discussion and interpretation. So, are there really 72,000 angels in a legion? As we've seen, the answer is not straightforward. We've embarked on a fascinating journey through biblical scriptures, ancient languages, and cultural interpretations. Let's take a moment to pause and reflect on what we've learned. We began by exploring the biblical context. We delved into the scriptures, particularly the New Testament, where the term legion is mentioned in relation to angels. This brought us to the intriguing story of Jesus and the Gadarene demoniac, where the term legion is used to describe a multitude of demonic entities. This not only underlines the biblical use of legion, but also introduces a layer of complexity in our quest to determine the number of angels in a legion. Then we shifted our focus to defining a legion. We discovered that this term has roots in ancient Roman military terminology, where a legion was a unit of soldiers numbering in the thousands. However, we also found that the biblical use of legion doesn't necessarily equate to this exact number. Instead, it's often used to signify a large multitude, an innumerable gathering, which adds another layer of ambiguity to our central question. Moreover, when we started to unravel the possible number of angels in a legion, we encountered a broad spectrum of beliefs and interpretations. Some suggest that a legion of angels could number 72,000, drawing parallels with the structure of a Roman army. Others argue that a legion of angels is simply a metaphor for an overwhelmingly large, perhaps even infinite number. So to our central question, are there really 72,000 angels in a legion? The answer is complex and multi-layered. It's a blend of biblical interpretation, historical context, and cultural belief. It's a question that invites further exploration and contemplation. In the end, it's not so much about pinning down an exact number, but about appreciating the richness and depth of biblical narrative. It's about understanding the significance and symbolism of a legion of angels, a force so powerful and numerous that it transcends human comprehension. While the exact number remains a mystery, one thing is clear. The concept of a legion of angels is deeply entrenched in the rich tapestry of biblical narrative,